I mean, there's the creative energy, right? And then
Yes.
there's the inner critic. So my amazing mentor at the songwriting school would say, when we create, you could be free writing, you could be painting, whatever you're doing, let the creation process happen and tell the critic in your mind, because they're both in there, the creative and the critic, tell the critic at the end, you get to come in and circle the things you like. And you get to
Exactly.
get your red pen out. And critic, I know you love getting that red pen out. You get to come in at the end. But as long as they know, like they will have a time, I think in the beginning they give the creative time to create, and so that's, I think, so often when we get stuck, we're letting the critic come in either at the onset and judging everything we're doing, um,
Hmm.
or come in just far too often and too harshly. So it's good that you were like, I'm here for the video, I'm ready to do anything, because it created, I've seen your video, it's amazing.
Thank you. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a lot of fun. I love the work that I do with my friend.
Mhm.
He is very much into Bjork and electro pop,
Yeah.
and it's just his jam. And then I've been there's like little influences of my soul and
Yeah.
R&B infusion and some grunge pop.
Right.
So, the more we create together, the more open we both are. So,
Yeah.
but with the
It's also
videos in
about
particular, it's so
quantity,
much fun.
right?
Hmm.
Like, have you guys written a ton? Because I feel like if you write 100, then the best four stick out. And I got that, I think, from Megan Trainor. She wanted to be a songwriter, or maybe it was Colby Kelly. One of the two wanted to be a songwriter, went to her dad, and the dad was like, cool, write 100 songs and then come
Yeah.
back to me. And
Yeah.
she freaking did. And that's what made her so good. It's learning through quantity.
You really do. It's,
Yeah,
I mean,
putting in that
just like
1,000 hours.
anything else, like outside of, playing an instrument or painting a picture, like with your work too, everyone, right? You have to put in some time, got to put
Fun.
in those extra steps so that you can be the best that you can be at the thing you're really good at. So,
Absolutely. But
yeah,
nobody's good at it out of the womb, you know? Like
no.
we see people like Michael Jordan and we're just like, well, I should give up on basketball. No, he put in that 1,000 hours. He put in probably 100,000 hours.
Oh my God,
That's
yeah,
where he is. So letting
totally.
ourselves have that growth and that beginner time
Yeah.
and space to fail.
Yeah, we all need a little more beginner mindset
Yeah.
and just like let go of our perfectionism, which is
Yeah.
so huge.
Yeah, it's funny. I was saying to my husband, I was like, yeah, you think perfectionism is sexy. Like, don't we all think perfectionism is sexy? It's like the cool fear. It really is telling us, like, well, the other things, like, don't listen to those fear voices, but I'm perfectionism. I'm hot. And it's just like, no, you're stopping me from doing what I want to do, just like all the others, But we believe that one. It's like, no, being perfection is cool.
Yeah.
No,
No, no,
go
no,
back.
no. Perfectionism is not cool.
No, it keeps
Take it
us,
from
like our
us.
mentors say, start before you're ready.
Exactly.
Mhm.
100%. Now you started before you were ready with your music with a message.
Mhm.
And I applaud you for it because it is not easy to reach out to schools and get them to sign on board to
Yeah.
have you come in for an assembly. And, especially music is so underappreciated in
Yeah.
schools. And the fact that they're giving that gift to the kids
Yeah.
is a blessing.
Yeah, it's funny. Yeah, I look back on the first couple of times and like if I had known it wasn't bad, but compared to what Music with a Message is now, it's organized. I know what I'm saying. I have an acronym for my principles to build self-esteem and I illustrate each point with a song. It's much more organized. And in the beginning, I was just going into schools being like, here are all the life lessons I've learned. I'm trying to give you all of them so you never get hurt ever. Like it was probably way too much. And just like the kids are like, okay, she really wants to share her wisdom. But they were here for it. And it's probably better than I'm giving myself credit for. But, looking back, you're just like, whew, that was the beginning. And I just went to schools that I know, so actually somebody asked me to have a conversation with them the other day about how to bring their music into schools. And I said, start with who you know, because it was my little brother's school and they gave me the opportunity. I went in for free because I had no business charging at that point, but it was my time, our time is
Yeah.
valuable. But I wanted to get that start and to learn from experience. And so I threw myself into the mix and then I just kept learning more and more and changing it as I went. And it's only been 2 years, really a year since I leaned in, I didn't lean in until I met you guys in our networking group. So
Yeah. No, that's incredible. What have been some of the best aha moments from teaching music as a
mm.
message?
So the best aha moments from teaching music with a message, I've learned so much. Yeah, it's hard. I let myself learn and make mistakes. So I bring empowerment into schools and I talk to them about how I was bullied as a kid and I empower them through music. I get them singing the songs, I get them up and dancing and they feel great and they learn about standing up for themselves. They learn how to be a brave one because one of my songs is called Stand Up and one of them is called Brave Ones. And the kids teach me things. Like in the very first show I ever did, one of the teachers came up and said, hey, why don't we use this as a stretch break? And let's get some hands from the audience. What does it mean to stand up for yourself? And then the audience, the kids, and what they said, their answers about standing up, they shared these personal stories of themselves and how they stood up for friends. And it brought me to tears. And now every single show after I sing Stand Up, that's what we do. We get the kids talking about standing up for themselves. And it's beautiful to see how they interact and support each other. And their answers are so beautiful. So I learn every single time. I didn't think of ways to stand up for themselves. And one time, one of the kids segued into my next song. It was so funny. He was like, standing up for yourself can be being brave and trying something new. And one of my songs is called Something New. And I was like, well, that's perfect because you're maybe the fifth hand I've taken and I need to wrap this up. And here we go into something new. So kids are just, we learn so much from children.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't see that coming. I didn't know. I thought I was going to be the teacher and now they're teaching me,
Yeah. And it's a blessing because like, hey, this is our future and teaching our kids to stand up,
Yeah.
to also stand up for other people and care is
Yeah.
going to be, a game changer for them. And we'll create this ripple effect.
It's funny, someone called my daughter a diva yesterday. And it was someone who loves her very much. And they said, no, 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 that word usually means like someone who's really talented and some other adjective that my husband and I were a little sensitive about still. And then at night I had to say to him, when that happened, I think that we are raising a generation of women who are standing up for themselves much more. They're asking for what they want. Yes, she is actually, yesterday she turned 4. She is 4, and sometimes she doesn't get what she wants, and that's hard for her because she's 4. And we're
Yes.
teaching her to manage those emotions. We don't think it's acceptable if she screams, but at least we're raising a strong little girl that we're not trying to stamp that out of her. And I think the other generations were much used to, you speak when you're spoken to and you don't ask for what you want. You're polite and you keep yourself, at bay. So I am glad that, she'll know how to be strong when something is a bad situation that we would want her to stand up for herself against,
Right. What is your
I
little
don't want her
girl? Oh, sorry. What did you say?
I said I want her to be stronger than I was and not put up with how many terrible things I put up with.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm sure you've thought about that.
Oh, yeah. What does your little girl think of all that you're doing? Because you guys are traveling together right now, spending a lot of close time.
Yeah. So we renovated this Airstream for 2 years and we kept thinking that we were going to be done, so we'd be like, okay, in a month, Sienna, we're going to be living on the road, preparing her. And then when it finally happened, she had been prepared for a while. Like they keep saying it's going to happen and it gets delayed and delayed and delayed. But now she's getting to go to like playgrounds all across the country. She's getting this awesome life. I think she misses certain people that she really enjoyed spending time with, but we're getting much more family time. And, they say it's good for us to be really close in these formative years.